Hey everybody, it's Dave and Joe, Liberty Stand. You can't see my Rolling Stone t-shirt, but anyway.
That's the photographer's problem. The video.
My cousin would be very unhappy with this. But anyway, I'm just distraught now. I wanted you all to see my Rolling Stone t-shirt. But anyway, Joe's got a question for me that we're going to discuss.
So, in the topic of hate speech, Dave, what exactly what is hate speech? You know, is it protected? And then how do we deal with like political correctness with that? I mean, how does that affect? How does PC correct or affect? Sorry,
PC is in direct conflict with free speech.
Okay.
Direct conflict with it. It is. It's very destructive. It's very destructive. We don't have to protect speech we like, because nobody has a problem with it. We have to protect speech we don't like. Speech that makes our skin crawl. That's what the First Amendment is about. Different people are offended, but we go back to another show. You do not have the right to not be offended.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I can say anything I want. You don't have to listen to me, but I have a right to say it. And you have a right to say, and we still didn't adjust that light so my glasses aren't glaring. But anyway.
I thought of that, but our technician, I didn't.
We'll take care of that in a minute.
We'll fire him. He's fired.
You're gone! A little Trump for you there.
Yeah, you're fired.
You're fired. But anyway.
So you're not Gary. I mean, your feelings being hurt, or it's not about the.
No, screw your feelings. Your feelings. I'm sorry. What kind of little panty waste are you? Little wet nappy child are you? Your feelings are hurt. You know. So what? Wait till I stick an ice pick in your eye, and then we'll see what's worse. You know what?
No, isn't there some speech that is prohibited?
No, well, okay.
I mean, where does the line?
Somewhere along the lines, after, like in the early days, after the Constitution, somebody wrote the law. You know, you can't say fire in a crowded theater.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have to realize they didn't have electricity. It was all with actual fire.
Candlelight or oil lamps.
And they didn't have like we do now, where you have to have a door here and there and there and there.
And exit signs, exit lights.
And so people died, you know. I mean, you trampled each other, and you. So I mean, that was if you say something that would cause harm to people, immediate harm to people, you couldn't do that. You had to prove that in court. Physical. But by saying you're ugly or you're fat or
you're black or
black
white,
or what, you know, saying derogatory names about those things like that. No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You know what? I don't like those. I don't like people saying that. It doesn't matter. I don't like it, but they can do it, and I have to sit there and listen to it. Well, I don't.
Well, because if we restrict their speech, then we have to restrict our speech.
Well, some people don't. Some people don't like what we're saying now.
Right.
It's a spiral thing. It's a downhill.
I think it can change too based on what's PC, what's politically correct.
All right. As you know, I always make you read stuff because
I have to get my reading glasses sometimes too. But I mean, when you talk about hate speech, it's like, you know, I mean, you talk about ethnicity. You know, there's gender, possibly. There's religion. What about religion? That was something I was.
Number one. Read it. Read it, please.
Man, I have to adjust myself.
Bill of Rights.
Amendment 1 says Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or for bridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances.
Now, do you know only...
So, but they can petition the government, though, if they feel like their
Absolutely.
rights are being... But see, that's the problem then. Who determines what's good, what's bad, what's right, what's wrong, what's hate, what's love? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's the... Then that goes on to...
That's a false premise, because unless you are saying something that's going to harm somebody physically.
Right, but today, that's not the case. That's what I'm saying.
Today is crap. Today does. That's why.
That's thrown out with the bathwater.
Yes. Today, if one of the founding fathers came back, and I got this from Glenn Beck, just so you know, they would say, and you could fill them in on what's going on. They could see what's going on.
Update them, yeah, on where we're at.
They would ask, so, how long did it last? Because we're not American anymore. We're not.
Right.
I mean, that's out the window, out the door.
Well, okay, so let's get back to what ultimately we're saying about speech and freedom and correctness and what's protected. I mean, how can we correct this? I mean, how can we?
Well, I don't know. We're gonna see.
I mean, okay, when I've heard about hate speech, what I've heard of is, okay, here's what's really a PC thing: the sexuality, the movement, it's called I was listening to a program the other day about free love, and actually I did post something on our Facebook page about this. About it's not free love, it's the love. Oh my gosh, what was it back in this? Was it the 60s and 70s? Yeah. The sexual revolution or something. Yeah, sexual revolution.
Yeah, right.
That's what it was. Okay. And how it's changing today. Of anyone can do anything they want and everything's good, everything's right, but and it makes me think of the everything is right in our own eyes. I mean, what I see is right, but what Dave sees is different than what I see. Then it's maybe contradicting, but it's right. So how can two ideas be equal?
I'm going to tell you.
Are ideas equal?
I'm going to tell you how. It's very simple, very Jeffersonian.
Okay.
If it neither breaks my leg or picks my pocket, it's no business of mine.
Yeah.
You do what you want to do as long as you don't harm me or anyone else.
Right.
We've done this show again too.
Yeah.
Your rights end where somebody else's begins. You do whatever you want. That's between you and God. If you don't believe in God, great. You'll eventually find out. But you have the right.
We believe in a God, that's for sure. It just depends.
Well, no, I'm talking about. You say we, but I'm talking about people in general. There's some people that don't.
Well, right.
But still, everybody has
something.
Everybody still has their right, and I got my right to do anything I want to do or not do, as long as I'm not physically or financially hurting somebody else.
And I think
you do, and they do, and they do, and they do.
Should we do a part 2 because we may need to embellish but where we're at today, like I said, that's not the case.
No, it's not.
So
and they're doing everything they can to stop that.
So let's do a part 2. Are you okay with that? Okay, you guys, sure. We're gonna do part 2, so this doesn't go too long. We'll be right back. God bless you. Rolling Stones.